Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And in this episode, as you may have guessed, we're going to take another look at House of the Dragon. This time, a piece from Screen Rant, and they're telling you that there may not be any dragons. At least not in Season 1. So I'm going to go down into the corner and we'll have a look at this. It's only a short piece, only a short article, but worth the look. So here I go. So, as the headline says, House of the Dragon just told you not to expect many dragons in Season 1. Or maybe none at all. House of the Dragon tells the story of the Targaryen Civil War, but the Game of Thrones spin-off already hinted it won't have many dragons in Season 1. Well, of course, it's metaphorical, because the Targaryens, their sigil is the dragon, and then it's the civil war of the Targaryens. So that's what the dragons, the War of the Dragons, really are. So yeah, I mean, it shouldn't surprise you that there won't be any actual dragons, just the metaphorical ones of the Targaryens, I suppose. But you knew that. You knew that. We all knew that. Still want to see a dragon though. Anyway, reading the article in. Although based around the Targaryen Civil War, House of the Dragon Season 1 likely won't have too many dragons involved in its stories, and the Game of Thrones spin-off is already hinting at such. The first of many in development Game of Thrones spin-offs, House of the Dragon will tell the story of the Dance of the Dragons, with its main plot beginning almost 200 years before Game of Thrones. Then it's a chance to dive into new areas of Westeros history and focus on the house, who, for most of that show's run, only had one member as a main character, Jon Snow's real parentage excluded. Yeah, I mean, Season 1, you did get a couple of Targaryens. One ended badly, filled with gold. But yeah, there weren't too many Targaryens throughout Game of Thrones, but the one we had was excellent. The Dance of the Dragons that is central to the House of the Dragon is a war of succession, fought between two of King Viserys I Targaryen's children, played by Paddy Considine. Rhaenyra, who will be played by Emma Darcy, with Millie Alcock as a younger version, and Aegon. It says here that the casting has not yet been announced, but it has. Tom Glyn Carney, I think, plays one version. I don't know who the other is going to play. The Targaryen Civil War splits the family and the rest of the Seven Kingdoms into two, divided in support for the two claimants to the Iron Throne. So that'll be sort of a whole of Westeros civil war, not just a Targaryen civil war. So, unlike Game of Thrones, where Daenerys' three dragons were the first born in over a century, and ostensibly the last to ever live as well, House of the Dragon has many dragons alive and active during its timeline. This was an era when dragons were relatively more common, and the dance itself was very much fought on Dragonback. Bit of dragon on dragon action would be nice to see. Yet House of the Dragon's poster, teaser trailer and other marketing has largely avoided showing any. This feels purposeful. In particular, the House of the Dragon release date poster of the hatching dragon's egg with a shadowy dragon lurking in the background, which hints at this story just beginning and the plots of the Civil War beginning to be hatched. And with that, there likely won't be too much dragon action itself. But I really want there to be. I do want to see some dragons. And now, I don't want it to be flooded with dragons. That would be silly. But you do want to see a bit of, I mean, they are the dragon riders. So it would be nice to see them ride a dragon, It's understandable that House of the Dragon hasn't shown a dragon in footage so far, save for a skull in the teaser trailer, since it requires some heavy post-production work and expensive CGI. Yeah, and it does take a long time. I mean, each frame has to be rendered individually. Now, I know that computers today are a lot quicker. You still can't do it on the fly, But it would have been easy to more prominently use a dragon in the poster. This was iconography. Game of Thrones later seasons increasingly used in posters, so having a cracking egg in focus with the dragon only partially visible behind it seems to be more than a cool design, and it is instead a choice that at least thematically fits and potentially suits House of the Dragon's story. Yeah, I mean, if it's like, I mean, you've got to think going back. Game of Thrones, you got your first dragon right at the end of episode one, right at the end of episode one, right at the end of season one. Uh, but then there were small dragons in season two, larger dragons in season three. By season four, they were becoming adolescent. By season five, they were big, big dragons. They grew quickly. That bit where Tyrion went in and the dragons were there, and he sort of looked up, and it was a fully grown ass dragon. Wow. So they don't take long in grow. They grow up so quickly, don't they? Because the Dance of the Dragons doesn't begin until after Viserys' death, then it likely won't fully kick into gear until House of the Dragon season 2. So it shows how this story is beginning, with the dragons then waiting to fly into action. It has been confirmed that House of the Dragon has 17 dragons, but that doesn't necessarily mean they'll all be in season 1, or that we'll see all 17 in one go. There should be some dragons flying still, but largely limited to transportation. It's not until Rhaenyra's son, Lucerys, is attacked by Aegon's brother, Aemond, that dragons really collide in the war, which is some way into its story, and there's a lot of setup to get through before that, particularly because the series is actually going to be pre the book. So they're actually going to be doing a bit of setting up pre-book to get to the start of the book. So there's a lot of pre-story involved. Hopefully not too much. I like to get into the story as quickly as possible. But anyway, Viserys himself is set up as a main character in House of the Dragon season 1. And Considine's casting suggests he'll be around for most of the 10 episodes, which would further mean fewer dragons or fewer dragon scenes until season 2. Well, that seems reasonable anyway, because if you've sort of read the book, you know what's the synopsis and what's going to come. But I say you've still got the earlier sort of pre-book start to it, setting things in motion. So I mean, we didn't expect to see too many dragons in season 1. If we go by Game of Thrones, it was the same. Plenty of dragons, but later, and I think it'll be the same with this. But we'll come up and I'll round off. Like I said, it was only a quick one. Yeah, so with each new sort of snippet of information or each new article, we get to see more and more of what is coming, and of course every day we're getting a day nearer to what is coming. But it is looking increasingly good. It gives us more to build on. It gives us more to get excited about. And I, like I say, I genuinely am really excited about this, and I know a lot of people are. So, they keep drip feeding us, and it's like teaser, 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 and we're being spun along because they want to keep the hype going. It is a little hype train, and we're all fully committed to it because we know that even with the disappointment at the end of Game of Thrones, and we know we were terribly, terribly disappointed, and we forswore it, and we were never going to watch it again. And when we heard of this, we all went, "No, it's going to be rubbish." Only it's not, is it? It's not going to be rubbish. We can see. I hope that the production team, and I genuinely hope this, I mean this, I genuinely hope the production team have looked at what happened to Game of Thrones and have said, right, we plan for the ending right from the beginning. And we don't rush it, and we do a build-up, and we give them what they want, them being us, the viewing public. And we give the viewing public the ending they want, the ending they deserve, and the ending we should have given them with Game of Thrones. Well, thank God those two have gone now. They're not having any involvement in this one. Benioff and Bozo. So with a bit of luck, this lot will have picked up the ball and are running with it. But I think they have, because like I say, every piece of information we get now, it's just more and more. It's exciting, it's good, it's great, it's brilliant. And it's like that juggernaut. Building. The drums are getting louder. The screen is getting bigger. Where the hell are me dragons? You know. Anyway, before I get too excited and wet myself, I will sign off. So, if you like what you hear and see on this channel, please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications of future output, leave a like, leave a comment, ride a dragon, and until next time, stay safe, stay well, and goodbye.